Ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds in the super middleweight division. This bout is brought to you by Mark Nielsen of Nielsen Boxing in association with John Trethui of TM14 Promotions. This bout is sponsored by Allegra and Nutravita. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Your area representative, Des Reese. Your timekeeper at the bell, Anne Marie, and your third person in the ring in charge of the action, referee Amy Poo. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. He is wearing the black trunks. His official weight of 11 stones, 12 pounds. He is a veteran of 56 fights. Hailing from Manchester, England, United Kingdom, introducing Josh Cook. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He is wearing the black and red. His official weight of 11 stones, 13 pounds. He is currently undefeated with 11 wins, and 3 of those wins come in by way of knockout. Hailing from Barnet, London, England, United Kingdom, introducing Andrei the Boom Dascalu.
Boxers, listen to me at all times. Watch your head, no low blows. When I say break, step back. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves.
6 3-minute rounds in the super middleweight division. The undefeated Andrei Dascalu against the very durable Josh Cook.
Seconds out, round 1.
Dascalu with an undefeated record, stylish boxer, Southern Area champion.
I'm not sure if it's the angle I'm sitting at, but Dascalu looks big for super middle.
Yeah, he does. He does look very big, tall, rangy, stylish boxer as well. As we know about Josh Cook, very durable, doesn't often win actually. He's only won 1, and that was back in 2023 against Mason Davis. Turns up, and I think the moral victory for him, Dens, is that he sees that final belt and he can fight again next week.
Yep, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. He is a veteran with 56 fights, I think they said. So he does know his way around the ring.
Yep, he's certainly defensively very, very good. You can see he's got that peekaboo style, hands held over his face, difficult to get through that.
And he's opened the gloves right up to cover his whole head. So he knows how to not get stopped, I should say.
Yep, Dascalu taking the center of the ring, controlling the space well here, but he's going to have to be creative to try and get through that defense of Cook.
Good body shots there from Dascalu.
You know these guys that you box that are put in front of you really for your part of your development, so you can sort of look, move on with your career. You need opponents like Cook, who are really the backbone of British boxing. You know, they turn up week in, week out and give the opponents a workout, if you like.
Yeah, most
tricky,
definitely.
but for someone like Dascalu, this is all about trying to figure out this defensive master, if you like, in Cook, because that's exactly what he is. He's very difficult. You can see he's very elusive, moves a lot. And when a boxer's in survival mode from the opening bell, it's difficult to look good against and difficult to get rid of.
100%, but that's a part of the development. That's a part of them trying to figure out what they can do to help, to try and get their opponents out of there, so to say. So he's got to find openings, draw things out, because at some point Cook is going to throw back. He's not just going to hold his guard to his head the whole fight. He will for a lot of the fight, but you got to try and find openings and draw things out. Just like that, when he jabbed, he's got to be able to counter fast over the top of that. Got good fast hands though, Dascalu.
Yeah, he has. He's tall, he's rangy. He had a good opening round there. He landed some good shots. Good work there from Josh Cook as well. Defensively, you know, he done what he had to do. He was very elusive. He wasn't sitting there at all when the shots were landing from Dascalu. He was moving and making things very difficult. The question I'm going to ask you, Dens, is how does Dascalu, how does he break that? How does he find those openings? You know, how creative has he got to be?
I think he's got to target the body more. He's got to target the body, because even when you are hitting the elbows, they do dig into the body. So that will take an effect. And that may drop his hands more because, you know, he may not want to take it and then the head's open. But I think the way for him to get his opponent out of there tonight is to target the body.
Yep, totally with you on that one. I think that's the one thing that doesn't
Corners,
move is that
10
body. And like you
seconds.
say, when you have someone like Cook in front of you that is durable and you can hit them
Seconds out.
with everything,
Round
and they
2.
still seem to be there, the body is the target.
Yep.
Dascalu again just taking the centre of the ring, popping out that jab. That's a good little weapon he's got there. Super middleweight contest over 6 3-minute rounds. Dascalu unbeaten in 11, looking to go 12-0. He's in control of things right now. In front of him is a very durable survivor, if you like. You know, the backbone of British boxing, I like to call these guys, because that's exactly what they are. They're put in front of these opponents to develop them and you know, bring them on, push them on further into their career, give them the rounds, and that's what Cook does, don't he?
Yeah, 100%. You can see every time Dascalu's trying to go for the head, he can't find it. So like I said, the only thing, the body doesn't move, do you know what I mean? That's a good body shot there. He just got to keep targeting it. And also, as you say, it just come to my attention, that Dascalu's a Southern Area champion.
Yeah, Dascalu's Southern Area champ, yeah.
Unless he's coming off an injury or he's had a long layoff, he doesn't need these sort of fights, you know what I mean? He needs to be pushing on now from the Southern Area and getting into more tasty fights to move on next steps to the English and then, you know what I mean? But maybe there's something we don't know.
Yeah, but listen, I think it might be a case of just keeping him active, keeping him busy, like just to try and tick him over until bigger, better things come up. I don't know myself. It's like it's a difficult one to work out when you're Southern Area champ. You want to kick on British, Commonwealth, European, or defend your title. You know, get that experience.
Yeah, and you know, you look better against opponents that are fighting back. So you know, a performance like this against a guy that's just not going to give him any success. He's not going to allow him to get through anything. He has to, you know, find the openings and break him down and basically boot the door down to find openings. It's very difficult. And if he's a championship fighter, in 6 rounds, he's just getting warm. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, we might see something special from him in this fight.
Yeah. Originally from Romania, Dascalu now lives here in London, England, managed by Mikhail Lawal, former British champion himself, good fighter, so he's in good hands. Trainer in the corner as well, Sab Leo, another guy with a lot of experience, used to work out the Hodderson ABC, now focuses more in the professional ranks, good trainer as well.
Yep, definitely.
Well, another round in the bank there for Dascalu. There's no two ways about that. But Josh Cook doing what he set out to achieve, and that is survive these rounds and make things, or make life difficult for Dascalu, and that's exactly what he's doing, really. This could be a frustrating night for Dascalu.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I see him letting his hands go in combinations. He's doing everything that we'd want to see him do. But Cook is just crafty and smart enough with the ring generalship. He's getting away from them shots. He's keeping himself safe. He's getting back to his guard with his hands high and pops a jab out every now and then. it's frustrating for Dascalu because he probably wants to, you know, show a lot more skill, but
Corners,
he's being
10
forced to just
seconds.
try and walk Cook down and let his hands go in combinations, and Cook isn't allowing him any success with his shots.
Seconds
even though
out.
he is walking him down.
Round 3.
Well, like the first 2 rounds, Dascalu taking the centre of the ring, working everything behind that jab. I think Sab's had a word with him in the corner, said, come on, son, let's start picking it up a little bit here.
You can see he's got a little bit of pop because he's throwing the right hand, and even though it's landing on Cook's glove, it's pushing his head back also. If he can find a clean shot, he could hurt Cook, but the only way he finds the opener to the head is if he goes to the body. He needs to look for the body.
Yep, totally agree with that. He's tall, long, he's got long levers, so he'll generate power for sure. Only 3 of his 11 victories have come inside the distance, but the kid certainly looks like he can whack. But like you say, Denz, I think it's a case of here, this is where he needs to switch it, go around the sides there, come around the back of the elbows, drill them body shots in, and work the angles, be a little bit creative. At the moment, he's just standing in front of him. This is where, now I'd come off that line, step round the sides, you know, create the space.
Yep. 100%. Look, that right to right. If he threw that right hand right to the back of the behind the elbows of Cook, that would have landed a good body shot. He was in a good position for it.
This is where he needs to now just step that back foot round to your right, or step over with the front left foot, and just work the angles, come off that line and be creative. And that's the way that you break the defence of someone like Luke Thomas, because Thomas is a slippery little customer. He's moving that head constantly, and that peekaboo style is difficult to break through.
It is, but then you look at Cook's defence. Look where his elbows are. His elbows are far, they're out. So that body is a target. But then you look at Dascalu, and you look at his eyes, and he's only looking at the head. He's not looking at the bigger picture. He's not looking for you know, other targets. I don't think he's throwing a body shot this round.
Yeah, you're right. Dascalu is headhunting a little bit too much at the moment.
I can't see him scanning for any openings. He's got to draw, you've got to feint there, draw, touch the gloves and go to the body. He's got to switch up his combinations. He throws about 4 or 5 shots to the head. 1 or 2 maybe skim through, but nothing substantial. Look at that beautiful defense from Cook. He threw right hand, he just caught it with his backhand. And just put it across his face.
Defensively, very, very good, Cook.
All the shots are coming off the gloves. All coming off the gloves.
Nice work again, covering up well off the ropes. Lovely right hook there, though, from Dascalu.
Yeah, definitely. But look, he just needs to see the body. He hasn't thrown a body shot once. He's got him on the ropes. He's moving his head. Just step back and look for the body. He might even find the head as looking for the body, because, you know, Cook is leaning down at times.
Yep, Cook is literally bending down to the waistline, isn't he? But another good defensive round there from Cook. Dascalu, for sure, is winning these rounds, but it's all about figuring it out, right?
Yeah, most definitely. He's definitely winning the rounds. He's a lot of work rate, a lot of punch output, and I like his work rate. I like the fact that, you know, he's letting these shots go in punches. He's giving us more than we saw in the last fight when we was asking Antonio to throw more punches. He's doing that, but he needs to throw the right punches at the right times. He needs to go to the body, switch it up to the head. I honestly don't think I saw a body shot from him in the last round, and that's poor.
And that's what it is, isn't it? You talk about that there, Denz, and it's about everything slipping into place and knowing when to throw certain shots at certain times, and that's what we talk about when we're talking about development. You know, we've been on here talking about development and apprenticeships and etc., and why you have to go through these fights to get and achieve what you want to achieve.
Seconds.
But you didn't just get to world title contention. You have to go through these, and this is all about figuring it out and working it out.
Seconds out. Round
the ones that
4.
can do that are the guys that go on to that next level.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. That is true. And he may go home and watch this back and notice, you know, he was headhunting and, you know, not looking for better shots. And when he gets to the gym, he can work on these things.
And that's what he has to do, because it's not criticism, it's constructive criticism.
100%,
You're saying, listen,
100%.
we can see you've got bundles of talent here, kid, but, you know, you're going to have to work on certain things, work on certain areas. Like I say, he's got a good corner there, Sab, the trainer in the corner, and Kevin Saunders as well, who's worked with the likes of Nigel Benn and, you know, many other great fighters. He's got a good team there.
But then it looks to me as if Dascalu is getting frustrated with Cook's defense. He can't break it.
Yeah, well, mate, we've all had those nights, you know, where you go, you just can't get through, and you know, you can't figure them out. But that's why people like Cook box week in, week out, because they're defensively sound, you know. They're good, man. They're very good. They pick up wages every week.
It's well deserved, to be honest.
They're earning more than us.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. It really is.
Look at that, man. He just line the jab up and go straight to the body. You find it, and even if he hit the elbows, he's going to dig himself in the ribs. He's going to dig himself in the body, and it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
A body shot, even if it's blocked, it hurts.
Like you say, you can see the elbows out there from Cook, and it's just about creating the angles. That's what I'm talking about when I'm saying you're coming in straight lines here. You're standing straight in front of him. You need to maneuver yourself over to the left or take that back foot round to the right. And that will create the openings. You'll see the hole there.
You will. He will see it, but he's not looking for it, which is why he can't see it. There we go. That's the first body shot I've seen in 2 rounds. And then a straight back to the head. He should double that up.
That was nice right hand there.
Nice shot,
Through the middle from Dascalu. He's looking for those openings.
Sometimes you've got to create the openings. You might not find it just looking for it. You've got to create it.
Yeah, against someone like Cook, you certainly have to create it, because it's not just going to be there. It's not going to be available. And there you see he's throwing the left hook to the head. That's where he needs to touch it upstairs, whip it underneath, because the one defensive error that Cook's got is that his elbows are carried maybe just a little bit too out. And if you close that space and throw the shots at the right time, be creative, you'll find them openings. But another good round from both guys. Cook, again, setting out.
Corners, 10 seconds. Seconds out, round 5.
Well, we've just lost our sound for a little bit there, little technical error.
And we're back.
Yep, we're back again. Another technical error. But we are back, and it's been a convincing performance so far from Dascalu, who's been dominating and picking it up a little bit there towards the end of the 5th round, landing some good shots. And he's just slowly been picking the pace up round by round, Dascalu.
Yeah, he is, and that's what I give him credit for. Not being discouraged by Cook's defense. He's been consistently trying to break through it. Throw loads of punches, been upping the pace every round, going through the gears, and still trying every single round to get him out of there. And I can respect that from a fighter. He just needs to be a little bit cuter and a little bit more, crafty with his work to find better shots and better openings to land.
But it looks a decent little fighter, Dascalu, doesn't he? He's like, the first time I've seen him, he seems to have a little bit of flair about him for sure. Round by round, he's just sort of picking things up.
Seconds
I was
out.
wrong about that corner man, by the way.
Final
Kevin
round.
Saunders. Maybe a trip to Specsavers for me, mate. And I apologise to Kevin, by the way. See, I know him well. That's the worst thing about it.
Oh, that is hilarious.
So Kevin Saunders lookalike, but anyway, this is all about Andrei Dascalu, who's dominated the opening 5 rounds. We're into 6th and final round here. In a great little show, Nelson Boxing, TM14 putting on a great show here at the York Hall, Bethnal Green. And Andrei Dascalu has dominated this one from the opening bell.
He has. But credit to Cook and his defence. Been very defensively responsible in this fight. Dascalu has tried everything to break that defence, and I give him credit for still trying and going for the gears and picking up the paces, and just going through it, not slowing down, not getting bored or not getting frustrated. He's just continuously tried to break that defence.
These are the fights you look back on and go, yeah, that guy taught me so much. They're the ones where you go, that's where I learnt a lot. I learned, you know what I mean? He hustled me around there a little bit. He's never looked like he was going to win the fight, Cook, but he just knows how to fiddle his way round,
He's old
through
man
the rounds.
Yep. He's shown a lot of experience in there. Shown a lot of, gamesmanship. He's old man in him a little bit. Great defensively. There's a lot you could take from this fight. He might walk off and soak a bit, like, oh, what can I take from that? Like, I just punched him about for 6 rounds. But when he watches it back and sees what Cook is doing, and probably listening to what we're saying also, he might realise things that he didn't realise when he was in the ring.
A good finish here as we enter the final minute of this 6th and final round. Dascalu has been good. He's pushing it. He's looking to break that defence off Cook, who's been solid all night. That's where he needs to shoot that body again. Look, Cook just moving that head constantly there. Difficult to pin down. You're right, Denz. That's something that Dascalu needs to look at, go back to the gym, work on. That's where he should be targeting and trying to create them angles. Look, taking nothing away from his performance, it's definitely been dominant. 100%. There's lots to work with there, but if I was going to tell him something, that's the advice I'd give him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, most definitely. I agree with you.
Nice little 6 rounds under his belt there, Dascalu, the Southern Area super middleweight champ. And he'll be looking to move on to bigger and better things, I'm sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the referee scorecard. Referee Amy Poo scores the bout 60-54. And your winner, still undefeated, Andrei the Boom Dascalu.
So Andrei Dascalu moves to 12-0 tonight in the fight against, you know, a hearty competitor, someone who was very, very fixated on sort of surviving those rounds, keeping that tight defense. Andrei, he was last out in March against a really, really sturdy opponent in Bahadur Karimi, and that was an all-out war. This was quite different from that. You know, the pace of it was very, very different. He has the English title in his sights, so this fight was probably, you know, a step towards that English title, particularly putting him in contention for either an eliminator or the title itself. You know, as someone who's been in the ring yourself with all of your experience, what do you think Andrei could have done throughout those rounds to sort of open up his opponent a little bit more?
Yeah, that's a very difficult when you've got someone that just wants to survive. So this is where you would faint a lot. So you want to draw a reaction from them. But again, with a boxer like that, any movement, they're going to have a tight guard. So it's almost, you want to take the risk of creating like a dead space to get a reaction from them. And then you'll throw your shots. But again, angles. You need to throw angles and vary your shots from head to head and body and head. Just to disguise what you want to throw.
What was Andrei doing throughout those rounds? Obviously, he's clearly a volume puncher. He's someone that is happy to throw those 3s and 4s and kind of build on that volume, not necessarily someone who is super fixated on that knockout power. What do you think he was doing particularly well throughout those rounds?
Exactly that. Just staying busy, because if you've got someone that's going to make a boring fight, make it difficult for you, just stay busy, just keep scoring, varying your shots, head body, just keep scoring.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, Andrei is now, you know, on that road to that title contention. It's so exciting for someone who's quite early on in their career to be heading down that road and, you know, put in a good 6 rounds for us here at the York Hall. Next